Yeah, boy. Another episode enters the lab podcast. We are back with another episode on this good Thursday, 7 p.m. We'll be back. 7 p.m. is the times that we are going live for this NFL season. We're going into week 2 of the NFL season. I think it's week 3, right, y'all? Because I know it's like a zero in college. I don't really know about nothing about college. They know all the work about college, but I think it's week 3 going into college. But yeah, man, we're gonna talk about some teams, man. We're gonna talk about some of the top games that's from week 2. We're gonna talk about some upsets, reality checks. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got their door kicked in and got the blueprint on their couch. Up, you know what I'm saying? Up there by them lakes, man. We got to talk about that. And also, Rudy was definitely offside. That is not a sports movie. That is a love story. Notre Dame goes down at NIU. And we also got the top 3 games of this week. Then we're gonna get some NFL talks. We go week 1 opening thoughts. Is it time to panic for some of these teams? Not. It's just week 1. Then we go over our top games. And then of course, we're gonna continue the week 2 pick'ems with every game on this NFL slate. Right after this, we're gonna got CHenry. We got Lady E. DT at some point is gonna get out of band practice and join us. Until then, you got me. So let's get to it, man. What it do, Lady E? How are you feeling?
I am good. I'm good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta
you
be
sure?
good.
You sure? You sure? Henry. What's good, man? Kind of shaky weekend last weekend, right?
Henry.
It's been a while,
Oh
man.
man, good weekend, man. Good weekend for me, man. Listen, man. The Wolverines didn't come through for me. We're gonna talk about that, man. But everything else was lovely the weekend, man. Had a lovely housewarming, had a lovely Sunday, man. And what I'm saying. One of us here in this panel, this esteemed panel, was 1-0 this week. So I mean, it's a victory Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and now Thursday. So it's a great week for me.
So he trying to rub it in already. Like, okay.
Just want to just let everyone know.
Yes, Lady E. Lady E is a great follow on Twitter, right? She loves to talk about hoodie season, right? So I don't know if you all subscribe, Reds on the Lab. We put out our hoodies for sale for Commanders Nation. And I did fall leaves, right? I did fall leaves because of Lady E. She gave me the idea just by her tweet. And so let's get into this. But DT is now here, right? So he is done with band practice, right? So he's here. We just started. I'm about to move out because Henry he just completely moved Henry totally off the screen. So I'm going to get out of here, but definitely appreciate y'all for having me. Remember, man, like and subscribe to the channel. But I guess we're gonna get into the college football, the best teams that separates them from the bubble. DT, what's good, bro? I am out of
Nothing much, man. Sorry for the trying to beat traffic stuff. I ain't trying to get pulled over either, but we are here for another Thursday edition of your favorite podcast, Enter the Lab podcast, presented by Red Zone DC Media, live on the YouTube channel. Click like, subscribe to the channel, and also we're getting you ready to talk about everything week 1 and week 2 of college football, and we're also getting us ready for the Thursday night football game. The Buffalo Bills will be playing the Miami Dolphins. So, family, what's going on with y'all tonight?
Oh, we
Good.
good.
Good, DT.
We straight. You know, Deuce had a kind of not Deuce, but really he ain't had to rub it in that he the only one on the panel that's 1-0 this week. So you missed that.
We're gonna talk some painful memories from the weekend fairly early in this show, man. So I just wanted to let y'all know that what I'm saying, I had pain too, but there is, an upside. There is joy and there is pain. You know what I'm saying? Love for my man Frankie Beverly. Hallelujah. Rest in paradise, brother.
Yes, yes. Rest in peace. Yes. We need to have an outro song for that so we can sit over here and do, hit the good old electric slide at the. Okay. Y'all don't mind me.
I feel y'all. I feel y'all. So let's go ahead and start with college though, because that was over the weekend. So we finished week 2 of college football. There's obviously a lot of things are way too early in the process, but we already had a marquee matchup that was in the big house as Texas came against the defending national champion Michigan, and they beat them by at least 20 more points. CHenry, we're going to start with you, and you're going to be probably surprised.
Hold on. We're gonna check that Ohio State map. It was 31-12. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put that on you. I'm gonna put that on your Ohio State fandom. I ain't gonna put that on your HBCU
That's
because I don't want
crazy.
to.
That's crazy.
Like,
You interrupt me.
you better not be a math teacher.
No.
You better not be a math teacher.
You interrupt me. I literally was going to say, I'm going to take my Ohio State hat off so we can just talk about football. But now I have to keep the hat on.
Keep the hat on. I like you. You got the scarlet. You got the scarlet shirt on, so you might as well put the hat on too. You know
it's red. It's all good. It's all good.
With that anyway, being said, man,
I'm gonna take.
Don't have nothing to say.
I'm gonna take the.
We got our ass kicked.
I'm gonna take my Ohio State off because I just want to ask you this because we talked about this earlier. When I joked about the amount of people you guys lost, 18 plus 16 players going to the NFL draft and graduated. To me, I felt like that was very significant because when you look at the teams like Georgia, Ohio State, and even Texas, even when they're losing guys and some guys that are returning, they're also adding a couple key players and starters from the transfer portal, from recruiting cycles and things of that nature. And you see they're getting instant starters. And from me watching the game on Saturday, obviously the talent on the defense is still there. You're missing a couple people. The defense can still win you football games. The defensive line is very talented. You got a couple of young guys in secondary to go with Will Johnson. But when you look at those key spots in terms of skill position at the wide receiver spot and especially at quarterback, what are your thoughts about those positions right now? Because I felt like those kind of the positions that's kind of struggling as of right now. When you look at Davis Warren, I felt like Davis Warren, he played an okay game, but when it came to having to make that big throw, you just didn't see it at the time. Trying to manage the game, try to run the football, milk the clock, try to keep the team on the field so you could have that defense to play against a very high potent Texas offense. And then I was seeing a lot of the wide receiver positions, like noticing that there's no Ronnie Bell. There's no Roman Wilson. How do you feel about those two spots through the first 2 weeks of the season?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. They did. They came in here and dominated. You know what I'm saying, from the trenches. They were they were the better team. They were the better prepared team. They were the better more talented team. They were the better coach team. And to me, really, when you look at this, the biggest disparity in terms of talent, the quarterback play, there was a huge disparity. As far as wide receiver, I really can't say that we're not good enough or we don't have talent there, because I don't even think we utilize it enough. As far as the portal goes, we dipped into the portal. Now we didn't get as many of the big time name guys, what I'm saying, front line guys, but we got a lot of guys in the portal as well. We added 3 or 4 guys in the secondary, a couple of guys to the offensive line. But again, though, I think the biggest disparity in talent, in my opinion, just from looking at the game itself, was the quarterback position. If you had to ask me one criticism I would have of this staff, it would be that we didn't dip into the transfer portal and possibly look at one of these transfer quarterbacks. We had Alex Orji here for a couple of years. We know what he is. We know what Davis Warren is. We haven't had a quarterback really be a first round talent around here in a long time. So I don't know if the staff was fully prepared for JJ to walk out the door. They said that they had put a lot of their time and efforts into trying to win a national championship and weren't doing a lot of recruiting around that December window when a lot of folks, when that transfer window opens up. That's to me is one criticism of this team. But for me, over the game, we had guys like, Hausman, who was a linebacker who played behind a couple of guys last year, who was thrust into a starting position, who a lot of folks held in very, very high regard. One of our big time transfers from Maryland, who was a highly sought guy, Jarshawn Barwin, or whatever his name is, at the linebacker spot, another guy who was supposed to be a big time recruit for us. Both of those guys played terrible against Texas. They were getting those guys isolated in space, whether it be their linebackers or whether it be their tight ends or their running backs, and those guys couldn't make a tackle. We forgot how to tackle. They were constantly attacking the any cornerback opposite of Will Johnson. So Jair Hill, Zeke Berry, who was playing in the slot for us, they got attacked in space. We saw some of the guys who we brought in. Amir Hall as a transfer guy. He was actually FCS All-American who came over, supposed to help us out at the cornerback spot. He didn't have a good game. So there were a number of places that we didn't play well. And first and foremost, it's going to be hard to evaluate Davis Warren and Alex Orji when you don't have that protection up front. We didn't have any type of push when it came to running the football. They put us in negative situations in terms of the down and distance situations, and we didn't have any type of really protection and confidence in our downfield passing. So we looked bad. It was a terrible outing for us. I think that's why I had the reality check. It's a new era. The run with JJ is over. The run with Harbaugh is over. Now we have Sharon here. But the good thing is it's a long season. There's no need to panic. We got to get better. We definitely get better quarterback play. Definitely get better quarterback play. And defensively, we got to get the linebackers to make plays. They got to come up and field. They got to make tackles in space. And we have to have those defenders opposite Will Johnson step up and make plays, because you're going to be targeted when you're playing opposite.
Oh, it looked like you froze for a minute. That's all.
Yes.
But so E, how you feel?
Oh, me? I'm sorry. I'm on a slight delay over here. My bad.
Oh, you good. So E, what do you think about, from your outside perspective? You're from the SEC, seeing the game on Saturday. Were you really more impressed with Texas, how they came in and took victory, or you just felt like it was more on just Michigan, on what they're trying to figure out as a new football team under Sharon more?
I'm leaning more towards Michigan, trying to figure out.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. No, I was just saying I would lean more towards Michigan a little bit, just trying to learn how they are and try to get them, figure out who they are as a football team. Like, as we know, they're having quarterback issues. They're really trying to just get together and under a new coach. Again, like Henry said, Henry was saying, like, hey, I don't think they really had a succession plan for JJ. I don't think so either. They had an opportunity to go into the same portal like everybody else. And they had a opportunity to really sit there and kind of get everything situated. Now, as a person coming in, I really think that Texas wanted to make a statement from this game. Defending national champs, wanted to come in and kind of show that Texas is who everybody thought Texas was when they were in the playoffs last year. So I think, I expected to see that from Texas. I expected to see a fight from Texas. Did I expect to see a little bit more of a competition from Michigan? Yes, I did. But again, when you're making that change, I'll be honest with you, Georgia had it. Switching over from Mark Richt, going to Kirby Smart. There was games that Kirby lost that we were like, wait a minute, we never lost to them, or things were different, especially getting a new coach. We had Jacob Eason at the time before Fromm stepped in. So when you have that type of situation, you got to understand who your ball club is and who your team is. I think it is going to take Michigan a little bit of time to kind of figure that out. This was their first test of the season, especially at the beginning of the season. Now they know how to move forward. Move forward later on in the season. Hopefully they can get things together and they start looking better. If not, we'll see what happens next year.
Got you. So it's still a young season. It's only week 2 of college football. There's much more college football games to be played. Much more still opportunity. It's a 12-team playoff, so it's definitely not more. But for those teams that already have suffered a loss early, they have to look at some of the issues they have and just try to tighten up and get ready for the long haul of the season. So speaking of a team that's trying to get in the long haul of the season, I just need some credit from this off season, from the early part of Enter the Lab, as we were talking on the podcast, because I told y'all about them Cornhuskers. I told you about them Cornhuskers.
On your side.
I know, and everything that I saw.
I feel like we all was kind of like, we was there, DT. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna listen to you intently.
I told y'all, man. Last year, Nebraska was beating the snot out of them physically, but they couldn't pull out the win because bad quarterback play and Shador Sanders was making plays that the other quarterback couldn't make. They were able to run the ball. They were able to get the quarterback. They had 7 sacks last year, but the one part they were missing was a guy that not only could make plays, but managed the game for that tough defense for Nebraska. And now this year, Patrick Mahomes' cousin just played. I'm going to have to call him Patrick Mahomes' cousin because everything that he does look just like Patrick Mahomes. I'm sitting here like, oh my God, if this is be like your daddy, be like your cousin day or something, he copying everything. But the Nebraska Cornhuskers, man, look, they just had a crazy night game and they beat the snot out of them, man. But what are y'all thoughts?
I'm gonna say this. We were told over the off season that the offensive line was fixed. We were told over the off season that they were coming to compete this year. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna tell people, and I know people are not gonna like this, and this is nothing against anybody when it comes down to it. And like I said, I'm gonna stand on this hill. I know a lot of people are saying give Shador Sanders a great offensive line and he'll do better. I don't see that. I don't even see that with it because, again, for a person like Shador, who was a wide receiver before he turned quarterback, I expect a little bit more athleticism. I expect a little bit more than what he was doing. Again, I'm going to say this. Deion has got to learn how to recruit. Stop relying on the portal because all you're doing is gathering a whole bunch of guys, putting them on the line, and basically saying, okay, y'all play. I'm not seeing no development. I'm not seeing anything because, again, there should have been something that we saw different from last year to this year. At this point, I feel like the offensive line was better last year than it is this year. So it's showing me that something down the line and got bad. So again, everybody still want to be on Shador's side and everything like that. At this point in time, I need Colorado to really find out exactly who they are because I don't believe Travis Hunter should be playing both sides of the ball anymore. He needs to pick a side and tell coach, hey, coach, this is what I'm going to play. This is what we're going to do. So, and Shador, he needs to, like, if you're going to run the ball, bro. Like, don't just sit there and take unnecessary sacks. Like, you can throw the ball away. You can try to extend the play, then throw the ball away. Don't sit there and take unnecessary sacks. Like, you're putting your team in far worse position than you can probably put them in more of a positive play. So, again, it's mind-boggling to watch it because you expect him to be so good. But it's just like, dude, you over here looking like these high school kids that I just seen this past Friday. You're not looking like a college football player, somebody that's finna go to the NFL. It's just it's crazy. But I think hopefully that Nebraska game woke them up. They're playing Colorado State. Colorado State want they one-on-one with them again. So we'll see how that transpires next week. But again, they need to have some type of bounce back. If not, this is going to be a very, 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 very long season for them. Henry said he in the blender.
I told him give me a milkshake.
Yeah.
But like, so here's my thing with Colorado. Another thing that I'm starting to notice is within that offensive line that has struggled, they also are really, really unbalanced. They're averaging 37 yards rushing per game. You cannot win college football games like that.
Yep.
And then when you have a quarterback, look, I understand. I got an argument a couple times this week about the whole Shador thing. Look, Shador is a talented player, but the one thing that I keep harping on with him is I understand the offensive line is not up to par, but when you're playing quarterback, there are times when you have to realize that you cannot make every single play knowing that you're going to be struggling back there. So best chance is you have to throw the ball away and take care of the football. And with Shador, he's taking unnecessary sacks. And when I look at when I look back at the Nebraska, there were a couple of times where there were some guys underneath, and I felt like he should have taken the guy underneath just to keep the chains moving. But instead, he's holding the ball so long, and then sometimes the sacks are outside of that pocket. So I think, and obviously with the defense is going to take a long time to get in because I already knew from the jump the physicality of Nebraska, Big Ten football, them guys were not ready for that.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Big 12 is really not a big defensive team, like big defensive conference to begin with. So I kind of expected that. I mean, I did expect them to at least do something, at least pinch them or something, but they couldn't even do that. So it's just at this point in time, it's just you got to go back, and I know people are gonna sit over here and say it's not like he's doing well, but you got to go back and go look at the coach. You got to go back and go look at Dion. Like this all falls on you, bro. Like you're supposed to understand the development. You're supposed to understand the talent. You're supposed to build this squad, not just sit here and just put players on the field and tell them, hey, y'all the best of the best, go play. This is not the NFL. It don't work that way. Even in the NFL, you can't even get guys together like that to play like that. You still have to work on things and get them developed. So I'm not sure like I said, Colorado needs a wake-up game. They needed a wake-up game. This was the wake-up game. Hopefully they can get a bounce-back game and try to get themselves together. If not, this is going to be a very long season for them.
At Colorado State this weekend.
Exactly. Henry, you out of the blender?
I'm sorry, man. I've been over here in the blender trying to get it together over here. But
you get my milkshake?
I'm very
Nope, he didn't get your milkshake. It's still blending.
And that squad, man, they got basically blew out.
Yeah.
The development is not there offensively. Nope. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. Did you hear me? Did you hear any of that?
Yeah, we heard. I heard a little bit.
Look, Henry got this blender going, man. Make that 2 milkshakes.
2 milkshakes is crazy.
Hey, make that 2 milkshakes. While Henry's getting that together. The other game that I wasn't shocked about because I expect this from them every single year is the upset that Notre Dame had. You play a team $1.4 million and they come over there to you, and give you the things that you need to go ahead and go do. So it is what it is when it comes down to that. But Notre Dame always do that every year. They lose a game that they're not supposed to lose, and we go especially after that win against Texas A&M, we thought like, hey, they're back. They're gonna do what they gotta go do. But again, this is every year for Notre Dame. I don't expect nothing less from them. Hopefully they can get it together because 12 playoff team, this works in their favor. Hopefully they can shake that loss off.
Yeah, they have, to me, they have a lot of problems on offense. Um, talking about skill position, young offensive line losing a guy like Joe Alt and a right tackle from last year. But then also have to be real about Riley Leonard's play so far. I understand this is a new quarterback coming in, a new system and things, but when it comes to throwing the football from the pocket, I have not been impressed, and I feel like he's not lifting them to the way that they expected him to lift them in the passing game.
Mhm.
Um, and you look at the defense. Kind of surprised that the defense kind of gave up a couple big plays to Northern Illinois, but they kind of strapped up in the second half with some adjustments by Golden. But I just felt like it wasn't enough for the offense to overcome a lot of the mistakes that both sides of the balls have made. So now Notre Dame is in this position where they already lost one game and is against I would say a group of five opponent or a lesser opponent, I should say. And
Mhm.
you look at them; they got to play Purdue. They still have to play USC at the end of the season, and Florida State and Georgia Tech at neutral site games. So
Yeah.
it, it's time to just really see as the season goes along what Notre Dame team are we going to see? Is this Notre Dame team going to grow and be better offensively, or this is going to be a stalwart Notre Dame team on offense, and they just have to rely on their defense just to make plays and score enough points?
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to pretty much be. Again, that NIU, Northern Illinois, they weren't scared. They let them know, and this is what we kind of say too when these type of teams get scheduled, and we've said that when the Appalachian State, and a lot of other teams. Don't sleep on these teams. Do not think that these are going to be cakewalk teams, because I'm not gonna lie. We played Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech kind of gave Georgia a little bit, even though it was a egg majority of the game, but they were still doing things to kind of frustrate us at the same time. Like, these teams got their players when they know that they're playing big name schools like this. Then yeah, this is basically what happens. This is what this is how it goes down. It goes down like that. You know, games are won by defense. Games are won on Saturday. Like, it is any given Saturday. It's like it's any given Sunday. Can't sleep on them. And I feel like Notre Dame kind of slept on them a little bit. Should have took them a little bit more serious. Bring you back.
Oh man,
It's the face.
I
it's
think,
the it's,
I think what it is he's still listening to you talk, and then on his side he's waiting. This is so nasty.
it's the face. Oh my gosh, it is the face, because the face is just looking like
Oh man.
Thursdays, y'all. This is one of
Oh
them
yeah,
Thursdays.
this is definitely a Thursday. Shoot. Okay.
Let's go ahead. We're
Let's.
gonna you want to
I
talk
think
the
we'll
top
start with.
games of college, or you want to go
Yeah,
straight to NFL?
I think I'm done with college for now. Let's go
Okay.
ahead and talk about the NFL. So okay, let's go ahead. I want to start with my game. So I caught a lot of heat from my
Mm-hmm.
fan base, not on Twitter, but um from my students. I got a lot of heat from my students because
Uh-oh.
they always talk about me. I'm always picking other teams and things like that. I'm like, man, you're not a true Commanders fan. Look, man, I don't wear burgundy and gold lenses every single game. I have grown from a football perspective to understand we have a lot of holes and weaknesses, and it was just a bad matchup to play Baker Mayfield on the road with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and that offense, and they put up points last year. And if you have Baker Mayfield on your fantasy, congratulations. You probably won majority of your leads because he was having fun with us. Only 6 incompletions and 4 touchdowns against arguably the worst secondary in football. 37 points. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was completely shocked I understand it's going to be a discrepancy in talent in the secondary,
Mm-hmm.
but I felt like with the coaching, the defense would be at least better and up the par. But I think even that kind of caught Dan Quinn and Joe Witt off guard of how they played, because there was a lot of times, we were getting pressure back there, but we just couldn't finish. St. Jude's dropped a potential interception. Then when you talk about the offense, it was very hard to really run the ball with our running back. So Jaden basically became majority of our running game, but also
Mm-hmm.
with not Joe Witt, but with the Buccaneers defense, knowing with how they able to blitz and send pressure and things like that. This is Jaden's first time against really an NFL defense, and I
Yeah.
understand he had the joint practices and things like that, and he had preseason games, but it wasn't up to the speed, and it wasn't actual game football. This is the first time he's playing against a defense that is showing simulated pressures, disguised coverages, blitz packages, and throwing everything at the O line and a young quarterback. And to me, he wasn't rattled, but I definitely see that he was kind of hesitant on pulling the trigger on certain amount of concepts within the offense, and particularly some deep balls that he had shots, because there were some holes that they gave up, but Jaden just didn't pull the trigger. But that's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
first game for a rookie, going against a defense like that. I think people got to realize the sky is not falling just because he didn't have the RG3 performance. And I think that was the problem with the fan base anyway. They think it was going to reminisce from the RG3. They know this is a entirely different situation, entirely different team. It's 2024. Let that RG3 guy go. I'm not even going to go to my hot takes about this between him and Jada, but um, overall, man, I wasn't really mad about the game. The game kind of went as expected, but at a certain point, the game was definitely supposed to be closer than what it was supposed to be. Too many missed field goals, too many errors on the offense. Probably guys not playing long enough together
Yeah.
in the season, but hopefully, I like to see this team rebound.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like again, you guys can learn from it. I mean, we all know week one, and honest, ever since they took away the last preseason game, that a lot of times the week one matchups are the knocking the dust off of everything. You actually getting out there with your ones and building that camaraderie to go on through the season. So I mean, I don't feel like it was just y'all. It was across the board when it came down to a lot of NFL teams during the first week. That you can tell that it was still some rust there. You can tell it was still some things there that they're doing. Yes, the holes are going to be noticeable. Whatnot. But again, you gotta give everybody a chance to kind of get warmed up. I feel like week two, I feel like we're going to see a difference in a lot of teams. I feel like teams probably going to be able to get better. The good teams are going to be the good teams, but I feel like everybody that had those little slow starts, those bad, games or different things like that can turn it around in week two. Because I feel like week two is really the week one that we know. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. I think basically, it's a long season, man, and this is just the first. Hopefully, it's gonna happen during the season. A lot of chemistry to be built, and let's not forget these guys haven't played a lot of football in preseason, so basically these first couple of games are basically the preseason games, man. They're working out the kinks, used to the speed of the game, working with new teammates, working in new offenses, and seeing them live with live bullets flying around. So definitely think that there's a lot of time left. I'm hearing a lot of panic in a lot of different fan bases, but man, so much time left in the season, man. Everybody just needs to relax, as my boy Aaron Rodgers says, relax, baby.
Well, tell that to my fan base. They are already ready to put Penix in.
You know what?
They
I
were
ain't gonna lie
done.
to you. I am some fan bases. Some people, they just want to operate like that. They want to operate on edge. They want to operate on the sky is falling. Next week you win. Okay, we going to the Super Bowl. So they like the emotional roller coasters and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, my fan base was talking
I'm just
a lot of mess over the off season.
some
I'll be
folks, you know, so you
honest
can't
with
tell
you.
folks how to fan. Let them fan how they want to fan.
No, I be honest with you, I do. I agree with that. You know, just like DT said, we didn't look too good. I'll be honest with you. We were playing against TJ Watt and the kicker. You know what I'm saying? Like we wasn't really even playing against Justin Fields. Barely could get over the 50-yard line because the kicker had 50 plus, 450 plus, you know, field goals that he made. Did not miss not a one. So we you know, again, I think the main concern with us was just the look of Kirk, how Kirk was actually looking on the field. You know, a lot of questions goes around if he's hurt, if he's still, you know, feeling it. He came out and said he feels fine. The Achilles feels fine. He's doing fine with it. I think what it is that we got a new first time offensive coordinator, let alone play caller, is Zach Robinson. And I think he just has to get his feet a little bit wet and get a little bit more creative and see. I mean, I said it in my space. I need Kurt, the OC, and the head coach to sit down and have a talk and come up with a game plan of what's going to one work for Kirk, but what's going to work for him as the OC as well, to be able to get a little bit better when it comes down. Because I mean, he called a beautiful first half, but we got away from the run in the second half. Kirk couldn't barely get things moving. Right tackle was just getting beat up. They try to put Pitts out there to go ahead and block, and I'm like, that's not his game. That's not what he does. You know, so again, but shout out to my defense though. My defense did a lot better than what a lot of people kind of put out there. You know, the addition of Judon and Simmons was very very good additions. Helped the defense out a lot. I know my defensive line got to gel a little bit more. So I expect to see a little bit more with that. But again, I think mainly for my fan base is really going to be what is really going on with Kirk, and if he is hurt, go ahead and put Penix out there. But I'm just going to say like this, with the way my right tackle can have good games and bad games. What happened? Oh, but no, the way my right tackle have good games, bad games, I don't trust him being on Penix's blind side right now. So that's just me. But yes, I expect us to wake up again. The Falcons gonna Falcons. We gonna lose games that we're not supposed to lose, and I wouldn't be shocked these next two games we win one of them that we're not supposed to win. So Henry then went ahead and went out once again. His internet does not love him today.
Go ahead, one of those Lions. How you feel about your week?
I'm saying
It's the facial expressions for me that is catching.
we back live. We back. We back. We back focused. We back live.
Yeah. We back focused and live now.
So I you know what? I'm getting like every one word out of every 12, man. So I don't even know. I don't even know if we talked about the panic by your team looking at themselves with a little bit of worry going into week 2. And again, it's still early.
Look, I caught that. It is still early.
Yeah. It's definitely no panic, man. Like it's week 2. We're going to see probably some improved play, or we're probably going to see the same play we saw last week. But I think for everybody, we have to have the mindset of understanding that football takes time for certain teams. Some teams are slow learning teams, some teams come out the gate. But what really matters is how you end the season off. You end off losing 15 of the last 16 games, and just a bad football team. But you start off pretty bad, and you go on this streak, and it gets you in the playoffs. You're a team that was growing during the process. You see developments for your players, and some of your free agent acquisitions were making plays and contributing to the team wins. And I think that's what the mindset for a lot of these teams, that either you're a team that's rebuilding, or you're a playoff contender or a Super Bowl contender. That's the mindset you have to look at when you look at these slow tarts from the preseason and the week 1 of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. I think when it's all said and done, the teams that we feel like are struggling in the beginning are going to pick it up by then. Like again, a lot of these teams got new players. We got new, like especially for you, you got a new quarterback, a rookie quarterback. I got an aging quarterback that's covered off an injury. I mean, even Aaron Rodgers didn't even look good the other night when he played with the Jets, and a lot of people have the Jets taking and winning that division. So, again, this is week 1. It's not panic time, but I'm gonna tell y'all like this: stop going around. I get it. You want to have faith within your team. You want to get that faith within your team. You want to support your team. You ride or die for your team. But stop putting high expectations on your team. And then when they come out and lay an egg that first week, now you want to panic. Stop doing that. Don't do that.
Boy.
They got receipts on y'all.
Oh, yeah. But you want to know the biggest receipt,
Talk to
though?
him. I know a couple people who need to hear that sermon, Pastor E. I know a couple realistic from the start, and then your feelings won't be hurt. You know what I mean? But yeah, I feel you.
Hey, that's what it is. I mean, you look good on paper until you actually go out there and play the game. So, it's easy to look at a college football team and you can talk that, but NFL, any given Sunday, we all know that. Any given Sunday.
You want to know what the biggest receipt, though?
What?
Our week 1 picks. So,
that you should be doing this just because I want to see it, or I'm getting. The NFL don't work like that. It don't work.
It don't. It don't.
So, if you were here last week,
what your GM be doing? Has he been bringing? I don't care how long we've been waiting. Listen, man, up to this year, I've been waiting 47. I ain't seen one yet. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, you got to be realistic. A lot of folks, I mean, they upset because they have these high expectations. And again, it's not that your team may not meet.
You see, when he really get to cooking
Of the exhibition level. Oh, y'all ain't get none of it. Y'all ain't get none of that. I'm gonna keep cooking. I don't know what y'all getting and what y'all not. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, with these man, these are key wins and losses for teams. It could be a couple of teams that you find yourself at the end of the season with 7 or 8 games. Critical.
Oh.
Wait, did he say critical? Like, did you end off with critical?
Hey, bro, I'm too weak, bro. This is the funniest episode. Yeah.
Critical.
Like every time. Look, it's just like every time Henry gets to cooking, it messes him up. We having a Monday on a Thursday, y'all. Monday on a Thursday.
Get it over. Trying to get over the hump, baby. So let me ask, if they start off 0-2, and let me know if y'all got any of that.
Which team? Which team need to start off 0-2?
You talking about the Commanders or the Falcons?
No. I was asking. You guys pretty much said there's no panic on your behalf, on your teams. Are there any other teams that if they start 2-0, let me get it in quick, that you would have some panic for?
I'm gonna be real, man. I would probably say the Bears. Well, no, the Bears
Mm-hmm.
won. The Bears won. The Bears won. Oh,
But they didn't look good, and they didn't. I put it to
yeah.
you like this:
Caleb
that was
didn't look good.
Tennessee's game to lose. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, they may have won, but Caleb Williams did not look good. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's gonna be a lot of pressure going on a national, going from your a 1 o'clock game, having that type of performance, and then you're going to a Sunday night primetime matchup against C.J. Stroud, who won Rookie of the Year last year, and a rising Texan team, and everybody's picturing you will have all the weapons and stuff. Look, man, he got to look better than what he did Sunday, man. I understand, he a rookie and stuff too, but that's a lot of pressure on him. He was the number one pick. Everybody said he the next Caleb Williams, improviser, and things like that. And I think obviously we saw that a lot of the stuff that he was doing in college, um, you can't do that in the NFL. I mean, you can't back up 10 to 15 yards thinking you're going to escape from a a bake salesman who's trying to fight for money to feed his kids and stuff, man. Like these
So for the
guys,
most part, you said Chicago, I believe. For the most part,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But no, DC, I agree with you. Like I said, that game was the
think you know
Titans'
what?
game to lose.
I think that because they won last week, even though it was ugly, it was nasty, it didn't look good on paper. I think that definitely buys them some time. And I really think when you look at Chicago, there are a lot of teams, whatever, but they really are under no pressure. When they tabbed Caleb, they pretty much got a fresh start, if you will. So if they win 6 games this year, if they win 9 games this year, I think the onus is on the future. One team that I will be worried about, and I don't want to go too in depth into it, I think we're going to talk about it in our future games. But if Joe Burrow and the Bengals, who have a realistic shot at being on 2, I would have some concern. I would have a little bit of concern.
Yeah.
So
Some
that's
people
a
are.
team that I'm too. Knowing that only 11% of teams make the playoffs after being 0-2, I would be a little concerned.
Yeah, some fans are asking if his wrist is really okay. We got a lot of questions about some QBs coming off injury this season.
I
Got a
mean,
lot of questions.
man. I mean, there's questions about the rest. There's questions about the playmakers after Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Yeah.
The running back room, how's that looking? The defense, and Brian Callahan, he's now the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. How the offense looked this year, so it's definitely a lot of I mean, from our outside perspective, a lot of question marks about how Cincinnati looking. It's already questions coming to play when James Jones make his remarks yesterday on saying that without elite wide receivers, Joe Burrow is just an average guy. Now I don't know if people got bad memory of some sort, but if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure at a certain point there were some talks about Joe Burrow from around either week 4, week 5 to week 9. He was getting his stuff together. He had 10 to 2 touchdown interception ratio. He was helping to win games, and he was talking about MVP conversation. So I don't know if people got bad amnesia or whatsoever, but the narrative is definitely going to be out there, and they're playing Kansas City Sunday at 4 o'clock. But they don't win that game. There's definitely going to be a lot of questions on the main networks, Fox, ESPN, and things of that nature. So I'll definitely say Cincinnati, man.
Yeah, I will agree with that. I literally will agree with that because they were literally scoreless all the way into like the mid third quarter of the game, and it just it didn't even look good from that point forward. So again, this is the Patriots that we're talking about, that we really didn't even pick them to even be at the top of, like, that they're pretty supposed to be at the bottom of the division. So of their division. So there's that. So again, I do agree that that's going to be one team, especially in that AFC North, that I know probably the Ravens are licking their chops right now if it continues like that. So. You got that delay again. I can tell it's the delay face. All right, ready to get to these game wins. Henry might have to text us his picks.
Yeah, he might take the pick. Okay, so for those who were not here last week, we are starting to do game picks. So I wonder what happened to my pick now. Oh, come on now, come back, baby, come back. We got a 2 3. There was something. Okay, we can do it like this. So me and E are tied at 10-6 last week, and while CHenry is coming at 9-7. So for those that know, we a lot of times we kind of pick the same team and stuff. So that kind of was a mistake on my part a couple of times last week, and also everybody else. So I think we might switch it up this week. But we're going to go ahead and get started because the game's about to kick off. Who do we have tonight? Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins.
I hate this.
I hate it too. I was talking to my kids today. I said, I don't know about this game.
Miami didn't look too hot last weekend. Not
And
gonna
Jacksonville
lie.
should have won.
Yeah. I guess I hate to say this.
I don't
I'm gonna
know
give it
either.
to
I don't know either. It's a tough game. Both teams pick somebody. I think I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills.
we all going for the Bills again.
Okay, this might be our
Jacksonville
first
shoulda
3
won.
streak. This might be our only
Fine.
3
I'm gonna go with
0 streak tonight. Cause
I'm
I'm going
going
You going Buffalo?
Buffalo.
I'm going Buffalo.
Hopefully y'all don't take Buffalo.
No, we did.
We did,
We
man.
did.
Sorry, bro. All right. Next
You took
game,
Buffalo?
yeah, we took Buffalo, man. God, me, bro.
Oh, this is gonna be tough with all this. Damn.
All right. Next game, we got Raiders in Baltimore. I'm gonna take Baltimore to rebound after the week 1 closer L.
Yeah. Yeah, the Raiders didn't look that much hot with Minshew. Still got to get some time to mesh. So I am going Ravens with that one.
I need
Raiders?
get into the end zone this week. I need 100 yards and 2 touchdowns from Derrick Henry this week. So I'm going with the Ravens.
Okay, so
I don't know what happened. Ravens
3-0.
Yeah. Who's next? The Chargers and the Panthers. I'm going Chargers. We ain't even got to talk about this game.
Yeah. Chargers, Henry. Chargers.
Hello?
It's the hello for me.
I think
I think he's going to go to Chargers.
Yeah, his old ball coach is there. Saints, Cowboys. I hate these dudes, man.
I'm gonna go Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cowboys because to me, I felt
Cowboys.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
Caught up.
I'm gonna take Dallas because I felt like that was a mirage last week with the Saints playing the Panthers. So we're all going to Dallas Cowboys. 3-0. Oh, this is about to be nasty, bro. If we lose some of these picks, bro, I'll tell you what. Good God Almighty. All right, Bucks versus Lions. This might be where we get different, man. I got the Bucks in an upset.
Ooh, okay. You got the Bucks in an upset.
I got the Buccaneers getting playoff revenge.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Did the Lions lose? Because I know it for me it was a little bit confusing about the injuries that were suffered in in their win against the Rams. Did the Lions lose any important people as far as injuries?
You would ask that live.
I know. I know.
He might as well
He
text. He's gonna
well
pick Lions.
no, he dropped. Dang it. Okay. He dropped.
He
Okay.
picked the Lions though. I
He
know.
picked the Lions.
Yeah. Where you stand? Because this is a division rival. You know, I know you can't stand them.
I really can't. And that's the thing. I mean, I'm not saying that y'all are easy win, but first game of the season coming out, but they're actually, they actually got a defense to play. I'm gonna go Lions. I'm gonna pick Lions.
Okay.
And because they're at home too. Lions are at home. Tough environment to play. I got the Lions. Now this next game is actually interesting with Green Bay and the Colts.
I'm trying to fix my fantasy lineup now because ain't no way in the world I'm gonna have Christian Watson being in my lineup now and Dontavius Wicks with Malik Willis at quarterback, bro. This is nasty. Absolutely nasty. I would, the crazy thing is, I'll probably lean with the Colts, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game be closer than what a lot of people would expect.
Yeah, because I mean, right? Well, you know what? Never mind. I forgot they got Malik Willis. Go on, Coach.
All right. Uh, Henry probably gonna watch the game.
He probably wanted. I mean, either that or restart his internet. One of the two. We'll get his picks later. But Jaguars versus Browns.
Jaguars for the Browns. Man, look, I trust Trevor Lawrence more than Deshaun Watson, most definitely. So I have to take Jacksonville.
I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna go Browns. I feel like this will be a wake up game for them.
You going with the Browns?
Yeah, let me see. Henry put his picks down. He said Buffalo, Chargers, Dallas, Detroit, Indy,
Mm-hmm.
and did he miss the Browns? Nope, he got Jacksonville.
Okay, and you're taking Jacksonville too?
No, I'm taking them Browns.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Taking the Browns. Like this will be a wake up game for him.
All right. Well, all right.
Let's see
49ers
here.
versus the Vikings. He's taking
Francisco.
the 49ers. I will take the 49ers as well.
Yeah, Vikings ain't Vikings. I mean, I give Sam Darnold his props last week, but I'm going 49ers as well.
All right. Seattle at New England. And he will be choosing Seattle. I got Seattle as well.
I like the way the Patriots played last week. I'm going Patriots.
All right, we got 3. Oh, you got Patriots?
I got the Patriots.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I like the way they played last week. Seattle didn't impress me there the week 1. They kind of looked all over the place a little bit.
All right. Getting that down. All right, Jets versus Titans. He will be picking
Jets.
the Jets. I will pick the Jets as well because Mayo Boy sold the whole game.
Yeah. Hold on. Who is this talking? What? Okay. Anyway, I'm looking at the comments. I'm like, because it's like it's coming up the other way. But anyway, let's see here. I'll go to Jets. I think the Titans defense still needs a little bit of work.
Commanders versus Giants, please win. I'm taking my
Yes, Commanders, please win, because I know y'all don't want to hear them Giants fans. Because if they get
Man, we need to whoop these boys, man. I can't stand the Giants fans, bro. All right, let's try to wrap it up over here. We got Rams versus Cardinals. CHenry is picking, if I'm not mistaken,
Rams.
the Rams. You know what? This game was tricky to me
I'm
because
going Cardinals. The Rams kind of lost a little bit too much on from that first game.
all right, so I'm going Cardinals as well. And the Ram injuries are starting to pile up a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, Steelers versus Broncos. This is a nasty game,
very
but
nasty.
I'm taking the Steelers because T.J. Watt was just insane last week. Sorry, E.
Look, ain't no shame in my game, man. I'm going with the Steelers on this one too. Broncos played well last week. I don't think Sean Payton understands who he's going up against.
Steelers 3-0. All right. Uh, second top tier late window game: Bengals versus the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs. And it looks to me that Henry will be taking the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Chiefs as well.
Me too.
3-0. Bears versus Texans.
H-Town down.
I got Texans as well. And the final game,
You already know who I'm going with.
it will be Atlanta. I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, y'all already know who I'm going with. So
All right. And that is it. Those are our picks. And we're about to get ready for this football game as they're in commercial. Any final words, E?
yes, my final words is we are going to be in game day in good old Lexington, Kentucky, as we watch them Georgia Bulldogs take on Kentucky. I mean, hey, got one of our old players over there starting at quarterback. I think they benched him last week too. But hey, there's that. So at least I'm gonna be happy on a good day on Saturday because that is a pure clean sweep W for Georgia right there. Some good college football games. And Falcons are finally back in prime time. So don't embarrass me, Dirty Birds. Don't do that. Because we was on punishment for a while.
Man, look, I ain't got nothing to say. I just want everybody to enjoy this weekend with football and get ready for week 2 of the college football season and week 3 of college football season, week 2 of the NFL. This is a podcast presented by Red Zone DC Media. Y'all stay safe and enjoy the first Thursday night football game on Amazon Prime.
Whoop, whoop.